Are we going to have any voice left, Davion,
Probably
by the
not.
end of this weekend?
Probably
We
not.
might not have it.
We're gonna be talked out, all talked out.
So obviously we started the broadcast, so we're going to go ahead and take that down because we already started it. But
we did not do that earlier.
Yeah, I know. You didn't? You forgot that too?
The whole time. The whole live.
That's all right. That's all right. They got the idea. Put some urgent music on there. We got this comment right here. I thought this was kind of interesting. And honestly, I might have to agree with it. People have lost their minds and go insane with this winter storm coming in. Never have I ever seen people in such a panic over snow.
That's very true.
It's true. And I think the reason that panic is happening, I really do. I think the more social media becomes the norm, the more that people thrive for that engagement, the more ridiculous amounts you're going to see posted on social media. I'm sure someone put that European forecast,
36 inches
of snow. And it's like, yeah, right. All right. So here's what we've got to do. We've got to break down a lot of stuff.
A whole lot.
Because we got some new information that's coming in. And there's this warm nose. If people are just tuning in, joining the stream for the first time, this warm nose is really going to throw everything freaking off.
It is. I did a video on the warm nose. I posted it to my Instagram just to kind of provide more clarity on what we mean when we say warm nose.
I love that.
It is going to throw a lot of
I said frickin', but that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of I am like, I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
We are still getting snow. We are still getting a lot of precipitation.
It's just varying on how much with all of that.
You know, it's a good point too. Casey brings up a really good point. There are a lot of new people to this area, and we don't typically see these type of systems. We get snow.
We do.
But you don't see winter storm warnings issued 2.5, 3 days out.
And I will say that is a good point, especially having earlier learned that like Bentonville is one of the fastest growing places.
Yeah, it sure is. All right. Well, here's the deal. Time's precious. Time's valuable. Let's get to, first of all, the new information.
Right.
All right. So we're going to look at our weather headlines, Davion, and this is what we know. This is a powerful winter storm. It's definitely going to happen. So we know that the system is coming in.
We do.
We also know the main time frame is going to be Friday evening. We'll give you a better idea on the timing. If you watched my weathercast, we're going to dive into that even a little bit more. It was 6 minutes and I still ran out of time. Heavy accumulating snow in northwest Arkansas. I think that's a possibility, but there's something brand new that I think the models are onto something. Even though that there will be a lot of snow, there's also going to be sleet, not just for the River Valley, but also for northwest Arkansas.
Exactly.
We know how this is. Do you remember me saying that? I was like, okay, 3 things that you're not going to hear from other forecasts. Number one, the norm nose is coming up. Right. It's that 850 millibar warm air advection.
Yep.
It's always stronger. This weather pattern with southwest flow, it's ice.
You know, and you mentioned that several days ago.
Yes. Number 2, the system track. They had it down in southern Louisiana. Now that's changed.
Yep,
that's going
changed.
Way north. And then the third thing that's changed is we've got lulls and breaks in the precipitation, which can really throw off how fast that warm nose returns. Exactly. So let's give you all the details and let you know what's going on, all right? Heavy accumulating snow, yes, it's still likely in northwest Arkansas, but more sleet and freezing rain south of I-40. However, this is the big, if you will, fly in the ointment. Josh used that phrase this morning on his live stream. I like that because it's an old school phrase. This is something that can really throw a kink into everything, all right?
Jack up the precipitation totals.
Yeah, and jack them up in terms of lowering them. Yeah. So we've got the winter storm warning. I'm sure you've seen that. I've seen a lot of people saying that they've got this, why noon? I thought the precipitation doesn't start until after the noon hour. And I think that's going to be the case for the most part. But you got to remember that these little disturbances, these little pieces of energy, the models never predict the timing of the rain perfectly.
Nope.
And you know that if you've watched me say this stuff. But anyways, you're looking at 3 p.m. through 3 p.m. Sunday. Notice that we've got 6 to 12 with locally higher amounts. But If this warm nose happens as expected on the NAM, which someone just mentioned it, the NAM has pushed the higher snow mounts north for now. True, and that's all because of that warm nose coming in. Ice accumulation south of I-40, but the NAM doesn't. It's weird. It's weird, and we'll look at all of it. But travel will be severely impacted. There will be a lot of changes. So what about timing? I think this is the best way to sum up the timing, and then we'll go into all the details. So we're going to give you basically the Cliff Notes version for those that I said that before earlier.
Right.
Did you ever use Cliff Notes?
I did.
You did. All right. You're not that young.
Yeah.
I have some people on here that don't even know what
like
Cliff Notes are.
Huh?
But you'll see that precipitation dropping down to around a 12.9. That's the temperatures. Pretty cold. Now, this doesn't really show the lull. You can't see it. There's so many numbers on the screen. Right? It's kind of complicated, kind of confusing. But look at this. This really shows the timing of this precipitation. Now, what's going on, Davon, right here, my man? What's going on right here?
Yeah, we have.
What's this all about?
Steep drop off, that lull in the precipitation activity that's going to happen. Really, I think it's going to be Saturday afternoon, maybe late morning into the early afternoon, or even some models suggesting afternoon into the early evening hours. We're going to have a little bit of a lull in our activity, and it is going to catch a lot of people off guard. They're going to think, oh, where's the snow? What happened?
It's over.
It's all done. But there will be some more snow coming on the backside, and some of that will actually be sleet again as well that the NAM is suggesting. You'll see that here in a little bit. Yeah,
we'll look at that here in just a sec. But there is a look at the 2-day forecast timeline for the River Valley. Lower 40s, and then you see it dropping off to 15 Saturday morning. This is, mind you, while it's still sleeting, potentially. It might not even be snow in the River Valley until early Sunday morning.
Exactly.
I think that could be a possibility. So we're talking about buckets of sleet. If the weather bucket is on here, Brian, if you're on and you're tuning in, as loyal as he is, we got a bucket full of sleet. And here's a look at what we've got in terms of the precipitation. So notice, what's this little 20% right here, Davon? What's going on there?
I'm about to say, again, you mentioned all of the little bits of energy that the models don't pick up well. There could be some light freezing drizzle that happens a little bit earlier in the day before we start to see the increase in activity as we head through Friday late evening and into the overnight period.
And then this drop off right here, right? All right, so here's the giant low. This is definitely big, but notice how it's starting to finally move eastward. It's getting a kick, but it's still kind of churning out there. This is what I want you to see, though. Why do I always talk about Baja Blast energy? There literally is something to it. It's not just I'm trying to get sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Although that would be nice.
That would be nice, yeah. I can drink all the Baja Blast freezy. We talked about this earlier. $5 for a little... They call it a large. What's the small? I mean, the medium must be like a shot glass.
I was about to say. The small is a drop. You get a droplet.
I made my own Baja Blast freezer. I got one of those Ninja slushy things. Nice, I could put the Baja Blast in there. Made my own slushy. I have to put something else in there. You know what I mean? After the storm system. So, but there's there's the water vapor showing this system coming in, and this right here is Baja Blast energy. This is going to be what causes our precipitation on Friday afternoon into the evening. So I saw there's a lot of schools that are letting out early tomorrow. Right. Early releases. There's several places that are canceling. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot in the morning. So if you guys are worried about school being canceled tomorrow, unless you've already made that predetermination, which I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, there could be Baja Blast energy. It could be snowing in the morning. I doubt it. I really highly doubt it. I think things don't crank up. We're too dry.
Too dry. Yeah. I think a big part of it just goes school systems wanting to be how we say prepare for the worst, praying for the best or hoping for the best. I think school systems just take.
You don't hope for the
hope for the best.
It's prepare for the worst.
Yeah, prepare for the worst.
Hope for the best. Yeah,
I can tell it's been a long day, guys.
I couldn't say that either, man. I couldn't say that either, Davon. I was getting it all messed up. Look at Caitlin. She says, bought my gummy clusters, which, by the way, is a great way to represent grapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because grapple is melted snowflakes on a super cooled raindrop. And that's the Nerds gummy clusters.
Nice.
Super delicious too.
Nice.
Every time there's grapple, I got to buy a bag of Nerds gummy clusters. I know, not the
Those are
best.
good.
A lot of
That's
sugar.
good.
I got to
Lots-
get running
lots
on
of
the
sugar.
treadmill. I know, lots of sugar, and I can
Enjoy.
crush a whole bag, dude.
Oh man.
I can crush a whole bag. It'll slow me down. And the Baja Blast. All right, back to the graphics. We got to add a little entertainment, right? So there's the system. Now, there's also, and this is what I think not a lot of people are picking up on, which makes this system so unique and so powerful and so strong. Look at this system that's diving in. There you see it. I knew we would have someone. There's always got to be someone. Yeah, the Apple Weather app that I trolled. Well, you know what? It picked the right roulette number finally for once.
For once.
Yeah.
And
It bet on 23 black, and guess what? It finally got it right. That's because the Apple Weather app, it's not. You look at all the other time. If I brought it up, how many times it was wrong?
it would the ratio.
You guys would unfollow me. You guys would block me because it's horrible. But anyways, maybe it did better on this, but it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens. But there's the upper level system that's diving in. That is a pretty intense system. And you'll notice this big giant low. So those two are combining abundant Pacific moisture. That's why so much precipitation is going to happen, but we have to saturate the low levels of the atmosphere. See this right here, Davon?
There it is. The Baja energy.
That's the Baja energy. We also have this that's bringing some high clouds right now and some mid-level clouds. You'll see as it moves in, look at this. Remember, the lift is out ahead
of it.
of the positive vorticity advection. It's out ahead of it. That's where your precipitation is. And then look at what happens when it comes through. A lull, a break. Why? Because this is a positively tilted trough. It's slower. You look to the east, you've got west of this low, you've got subsidence. Subsidence is where your air mass dries out in the mid-levels. We'll see that on the soundings. Then it saturates again as this giant low comes in. Look at this massive thing. Now, you can't tell me that the models are predicting exactly when and where there will be precipitation and how much with all of this energy off to the west.
It's just too much.
The atmosphere is way too complicated for that. And then that energy moves in. Now, something else that I have to point out is that this is going to be creating some very strong low-level winds that are going to be racing in from the south. And I'll show you all this. But those low-level winds, about 3,000 to 5,000 feet up, that is the warm nose. Yep. And that warm nose essentially is bringing in those temperatures aloft that are going to be warmer. So there's the weekend storm. It moves out. I already see comments too talking about a week from this. It's like, just come on.
Let's get through this. Let's
get through this
first.
Then we'll talk about the next one.
Right.
Because if nothing gets this right on the models, then forget why even look at it later.
Right.
All right. So back to this. This is the warm nose, and we'll show you another view of this. But I think this is really telling. So in parts of Louisiana, there's just going to be not a whole lot of cold air intrusion. So you've got the cold air aloft. Yes, it's melting those snowflakes. Then it comes down and it never refreezes. Where that cold air is a little shallower, it just starting to nudge into the area. It's Arctic air, so it stays very low to the ground. There you have your freezing rain. That's how you get the different types of precipitation. Notice how that warm nose is a little bit less. It gets eroded. Well, that cold air allows those raindrops in this region to refreeze. And when they refreeze, they become solid balls of ice. That's a sleet pellet. Not hail, because hail actually goes up and down in a thunderstorm multiple times to get that rime ice accumulation, which is why you see rings. Sleet is more transparent, and you can tell that because when it falls, it just freezes, from super cold water and freezes eventually when it falls. Here's cold air that's all the way deep, and this is going to happen towards the end of our system. So we know there's going to be all snow at some point. That's going to be a little bit later on in the system, and that's going to be approximately, I think, Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning on the backside
is
where that looks like it's going to be mostly all snow.
But at the same time, there could be the dry slot on the backside, and that could cut off the precipitation like that,
just
like
that.
The snap of a finger, like nothing. No, Bentonville schools will not be closed. Absolutely not. Early release, possibly. I know Huntsville Schools is early releasing. I saw us running the crawls, and I'm like, there will be a few early releases and a few cancellations, and I'm just like, I don't know about that. Huh. This is an interesting comment. I gotta show this because Turd Ferguson with the gems right there.
Man.
Flashlight keeps you warm under the covers. You know what they call that, right? A Dutch oven. All right. Oh, brother. All right. Back to this is actually really important. So we're going to talk about this warm nose. So remember all of those things about what we're talking about. No, Springdale is not doing an early release either. So nothing happens, as you saw, up until about 7 o'clock. But remember, it could be that freezing drizzle a little bit ahead of time, but the models don't have.
Right.
Y'all need some sleep.
So we're getting silly.
I know. Bringing it back, reeling it back in. Woo, reeling it back in. All right. So now, one thing that people don't know about is that on the initial edge of the precipitation, you might have temperatures that are above freezing, and then we get instantly a cooling of the column due to evaporative cooling.
Yep.
What that does is that causes sleet on the initial onset.
Yep.
When that sleet happens, that's going to cool the column off a little bit more, and then that's when we start to see snow. So it's like, how is it 25 degrees? What? What's that?
I'm saying wet bulb.
Oh, yeah, wet bulbing. Yeah, exactly. I thought you were saying, whoa, wait. How could it be 25 degrees at the surface and you're still getting liquid?
Exactly.
That's because of that warm nose aloft, okay? The warm nose aloft. Now watch what happens all the way from 6 o'clock in the evening to midnight. Now this is the newest NAM, and this is one of the many models that are out there. This shows 18, 17 inches. 18, 17 degrees. I do need sleep. But notice how it still has that pink shaded area. Now that pink shaded area on this model is a mix.
Yep.
Meaning freezing rain and sleet. Mostly sleet, according to the NAM. We'll look at that too, and I'll show you what I mean. Notice that as we get through 3 a.m., that warm nose hasn't infiltrated Northwest Arkansas.
No.
It's still snow. Then as we go into the Saturday morning time frame, it's still snowing to the dickens.
Right.
And then you've got,
heavy.
But look, in the River Valley, this is the cutoff right here, and this is where you have that. Now, is this model perfect? Probably not. But it gives you an idea of the trends. And typically, the NAM does handle those warm noses a little bit better than a lot of other models. Notice the temperatures are way below freezing at the surface. So if we do have rain in Waldron and it's 25 degrees, that will be a catastrophic ice storm.
It will. And that's really concerning.
Yes. Then this is what happens. And this is another thing that people don't think of. So think about this warm air that's surging northward. It doesn't just stop. It's always trying to force forward. So if I have essentially a block of cold air, such as precipitation that's falling,
right.
Well, precipitation causes cooling, evaporative cooling. But if I stop that precipitation, what happens?
That warm air is going to come back.
Warm air is going to come racing back in. So that lull may throw things off in terms of the precipitation. As we mentioned, if you're just joining us, we've got a highly impactful winter storm expected this weekend starting tomorrow evening. We're going back to this model, and you will notice that this is now, watch this warm nose race northward at this point. Hey, we're still cool, right? And look at the temperatures, 10 degrees.
10 degrees.
That's cold.
Very cold at the surface.
But watch what happens over time. Oh my goodness. Because of that lull in precipitation, now we could have a mix all the way overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. And then that shows basically a cut down of the snow accumulations.
Exactly.
Still a lot of precipitation. So you might remember that warm nose, that point where we were starting to get that warm air. And that warm air, as it's surging in, is going to melt those snowflakes.
Right.
If that cold air is deeper at the surface, that's going to refreeze those raindrops into sleet pellets. But now, remember, on the backside of the system, we get northerly winds.
Yep.
And what does that do?
And the northerly winds cool us back off.
Cool us back off again. So if we put this into motion, we expect to see this freezing line, or not the freezing line, but the sleet to snow changeover shift south. And that's exactly what happens. but this might not occur. And by the way, this is going to be heavy snow, might not occur until Sunday morning. So Saturday night and a Sunday morning, we're getting.
Could be all sleet.
Yeah, that could be all sleet. And then finally it changes over to snow. Now, if the dry slot comes in after we've seen all that, then that's trouble. So here's what we did. We adjusted these snow totals. Take the camera off the screen. And the reason that we're doing that is because we want to make this full screen. So this is a problem right here. These pink shades areas. So this is supposed to be all snow, right?
Right.
I don't think anymore.
Nope.
I think there's going to be a little bit of a mix, and that might cut down on the totals. We'll take a look at totals in just a bit. Madison, Newton, and Boone County going to be slower to transition to sleet, but later to transition back to snow. Here's Benton County and Carroll County that will turn to sleet before midnight and then end as sleet a little earlier. So Benton, Carroll County probably going to pick up on more snow. It makes sense. Washington County gets about the same time as Benton and Carroll County, but then that's going to last as a sleet mixture, sleet and snow, a lot longer. And then the River Valley is just a crapshoot, if you will. It really is. It's a toss-up. There could be some really, really heavy sleet.
Just
so
checkerboard, all precip types.
Again, there's the precipitation types. And I do want to show this graphic again because I showed this during the newscast, and I think it really does tell the story.
It does.
So remember that warm nose. That is such a key factor in this forecast that you're not going to learn from just a post of a computer model forecast taking every square ounce of that precipitation and immediately converting it to snow.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen. We'll talk about the ratios too. No, it doesn't. Which is why when it was like all snow, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that's happening. So there's that warm nose. Remember, this is all constantly surging in from the south, and it is cranking up. We're not going with the NAM. I'm showing a possibility, Brandon, because we're going to look at other models. But I'm saying this is a possibility that we have to take into account. And then you'll see as that cold air is not as deep at the surface, but it's chilling those objects, that could be freezing rain. Here's sleet where the cold air is deeper, and then snow is where the air is obviously below 32. So all of that basically will combine for hazardous driving conditions. And just a reminder, for black ice, keep the steering wheel straight, do not brake. Suddenly, do not brake suddenly. I mean, you want to brake, but don't brake suddenly, and take the foot off the accelerator when you're doing that. Okay, now let's talk about totals. And honestly, I didn't really adjust these from earlier today. I didn't feel the need to. Honestly, the models weren't backing down. Even though they still show that warm nose,
they still aren't.
They're still having a tremendous amount of precipitation. And we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. So here is the forecasted sleet snow totals. This is from Friday night, Sunday afternoon. We'll zoom in on Northwest Arkansas. We're still going 8 to 12. The reason that we're going 8 on the lower end, even though no model is showing 8, it's because of that sleet that we have to account for.
It is.
And then we got 12 inches for the higher terrain. But honestly, if it remains sleet longer, that could be cut down.
Yep.
And sleet's nasty. I mean, either way, there's going to be impacts.
Yeah. Travel conditions are going to be horrible regardless.
Yeah. So then in the River Valley, believe it or not, some models will look at the sleet accumulation. It is just astounding how much they're developing.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a quick cutoff, man. I have a feeling, man, oh man, there's going to be a quick cutoff. Yeah, it's below 0, by the way, for Fahrenheit. Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius is 32.
Right.
So it's below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really cold Celsius. Is Gateway considered terrain? Absolutely, yes. So you notice the ice is not really in Benton County. I think it's more snow, but there could be ice. But then farther south, this is that dashed line where we could see ice accumulations south of that. I don't know. That's exactly what we have. And then on top of that, sleet as well that could be mixing in. So here's the models with the ice accumulation. What's weird, I'm going to show you something that our model does, and this is something that we determine something's off. Something doesn't work right.
Has to be off.
Yeah, because look, we're going to zoom in on this, the graph. Okay, that doesn't even populate the tenths of an inch. So
Right.
who knows what's going on there. The European, that shows about 6/100ths of an inch, but then it shows over an inch in Little
Quarter
Rock.
inch in Fort
Okay.
Smith.
The GFS doesn't show a whole lot because it's a bias of being colder.
Right.
And then on the NAM, you've got a 2300ths of an inch for ice, but look at it in Little Rock. But this is what's stupid about this, all right? This is what's absolutely dumb, is that I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, what's going on here? Hold on. I'm going to have you talk about this, and then I'm going to bring up weather 2 and talk about that. Let's talk about the cold air that's coming in too.
Mm-hmm.
You want to look at the models? The models are just, I don't know what's happening. Things are blowing up on this.
Yeah, the models have continued to paint. Yeah, you see the
I
picture.
just like,
It's just,
what?
I don't think it's taken into account all of the precipitation types. I think it just converts it all to snow. And that's why you're continuing to see. I mean, we look at the NAM, 14 inches in Fayetteville, 15 in Fort Smith, 12.
How is that possible? I mean, it's just there's no
NAM.
Now that's got less, but it still has copious amounts of precipitation.
Exactly.
So
exactly. And then we look at the GFS and the Euro, and I almost don't even want to show these because 29 inches in Fort Smith, 22 here in Fayetteville, 18 in Rogers. It just doesn't make sense. It converts. Oh my goodness. 34 inches.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. That it just doesn't make sense. There's just no, it converts all of the precip, every single drop of precip into snowfall. And that's just not how winter precipitation works, or measuring winter precipitation. It's just not how it works. And
so what's dumb about this is we've got the NAM 12 kilometer on the models, but yet we only have the NAM 20 kilometer in our graphic system.
Right.
So let's show them this here.
Okay.
When it loads. Still loading.
If it ever,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, go to max 2 again.
Okay.
And come on. We got you. Let's go to sleep total.
That's another thing. Computers have been hard at work.
Yeah, they have.
I mean,
so this is the NAM, and notice how it has sleet basically all across Northwest Arkansas. That's every single area right there. I'm going to go here. We're going to go to, here, hold on. Go bookmarks bar, get that off of there. Okay, so we've got precipitation. You can see it's super widespread. This is sleet, by the way. These sleet totals are exaggerated, ridiculous, insane. And come on now. I've never seen a storm ever produce. Get out of here. Get back to that. I've never seen sleet totals that are exceeding 3 inches, much less 6 inches. This is 7 inches. This just doesn't, something is happening with these models that just don't make sense. They just don't. So here's what I was going to show you. Freezing rain. Now, wait a minute. Go back to weather 1.
Exactly. If we go back to weather 1, and this is what we mean by the models are acting a little.
And we're going to go to
ice
ice accumulation. Yeah. All right. And we're going to bounce back and forth. So what ours shows, and I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt. We're going to do the NAM. So there's the NAM. This is what this shows. Okay. 1.73 in Little Rock, according to our graphic system.
Right.
But yet, this is what the model shows. It doesn't show anything in Little Rock. So wait a minute. What is going on here? Is the NAM 20 kilometers? Something's off, and it's not making sense, honestly. It really doesn't. So this is why winter weather forecasting is such a biatch.
Just a pain.
Yeah.
Such a pain.
We're going to go back here and look at the snowfall, Kuchera. This is, by the way, the amounts of precipitation are tremendous, but as you mentioned, look, it's taking that heavy swath of snow farther north.
It is.
So let's look at some other ones. Let's look at the GFS. Okay, the GFS has got a tremendous amount of snow. Kuchera isn't perfect, but even so, that's still a lot of snow. Let's take a look at where the sleet is on that. So it still has a tremendous amount of precipitation.
A ton.
Snow depth, this is a better way to look at what essentially we're looking at, and that still shows, A lot of snow.
Right.
Come on. It's weird. It just doesn't make sense. Look at this reflectivity type. So here's what we've got. And look, this definitely shows the lull. So there's Friday night. There's Saturday morning. Here's that break. And then here comes that next wave. And look at how far that warm nose has made it. Now, remember, the GFS, way colder. The NAM, we'll go to the NAM here, and I'll show you.
Way warmer. Warm bias.
Oh, come on. I thought it was just going to bounce right to it, but it didn't.
Yeah. I have a comment asking, so what are you sure of?
Nothing. I'm sure of anything. I'm sure that it's going to precipitate.
We're sure that we're going to see wintry precipitation, and we're going to see major travel impacts, and that's why we have the warnings and watches in places and have been saying to make sure you prepare. What we're unsure of is just the amount of wintry precipitation and which types of precipitation that will be as we go throughout the progression of the storm. And that's the tricky part of forecasting, especially with taking all the models in consideration, trying to figure out how far exactly does that warm nose advect. Because, I mean, if you just take a look at the NAM right now, you see the warm nose advects all the way to the state line of the Arkansas and Missouri. However, the freezing rain line doesn't move at all. It stays as far down south. That's just a huge shield of sleet across the
it just doesn't. I don't know. I can't wait to see how this plays out because everything is so whacked out, man. Surface winter. This only does a 10-to-1 ratio. We don't even look at that. The FV3 wasn't look at it either. Let's go back to pivotal here. Come on. Off of that. NBM. Let's look at the old trusty NBM. So it's going up. It's gone up.
Yeah,
look at that.
It has.
It's got 11 inches. So everything is trending up. But look at this. This is the precipitation type. It's just all over the place.
It doesn't know what it wants.
Neither do we. We know it's below freezing. There's no doubt about that. But it's that darn 850 millibar warm nose. And watch, we can show it. So we'll look at the temperature. We'll go into the sector. We'll go into the southern plains. Check out this warm air. So remember, this right here is the freezing line. See this white area?
Yeah.
That white line? That's the freezing line. So let's see what it does. Cold. Okay. But then look at it start racing back to the north right there. It's so darn close. And what did I tell you? I said it was going to be right over us.
Right over us.
That's the wrap too. Let's see what the wrap has for winter precipitation. Let's go to total snowfall accumulation. So this has it way farther south. That's the only model I've seen that has the heavier snow south. The wrap.
Right.
So the HRRR, there you go. That's showing heavy snow south. So maybe things are starting to trend south again, which doesn't make sense how the warm nose is racing northward. It's all about where the track of the low is. Look at the NAM. NAM is out to lunch. The Norton NAM is just, what is going on?
I think the NAM quit. I don't think it's coming back.
Look at this. There's the NAM nest. The European is just like, we're just going to put snow everywhere. Just forget about it.
Forget it. You get 16.
But here's what's also weird, too, is that I'm going to go to the Weather Prediction Center site. We go to the Winter Storm Severity Index, and this all changed. Now it's barely in red at all. It was red earlier.
All red earlier.
Yeah, it was all red everywhere.
Area-wide.
Now you got nothing.
Now it's nothing really across.
Well, it's orange. It's still orange with some reds. Like, what is this saying? Like Rogers? How is it able to predict exactly where Bentonville and Rogers and Springdale's going to be more?
It's been updating so quickly.
Yeah.
That I don't necessarily know exactly their reasonings behind it because it's been so rapid updates of major, moderate, no major, no moderate.
I know it does that.
I think what that should tell us is moderate is the floor, and it could only be higher than that.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to load up some soundings. While we're doing that, you can bring up the camera, Davon, and maybe answer some of those questions, man.
Yeah, let's see what questions we have.
I hate winter weather so much.
Yeah, winter weather it's fun to look at.
Forecasting.
Not
I hate
fun.
forecasting
not
winter
fun for
weather.
forecasting.
Once the storm is underway, then we're still going to be antsy about when it develops on the radar.
Yeah.
And the lull, every single break in the activity is like, oh no, is this the dry slot? And it's
Right.
so slow to evolve and it's so slow to develop. And
We have a question as what's your best guess for Adair County in
for
Oklahoma?
Adair County,
Yeah, for Adair County. Yeah, excuse me. Oklahoma snow totals.
I think 8 to 12.
Yeah, 8 to 12. They're right in that
Yep.
graphic. Yeah, it's just to the left of us.
So let's see what's going on with the model. Let's look at the dramatic difference. So we're going to look at a sounding. So this is a sounding that won't go out very far. It's the HRRR. It's not the 0Z. So you'll see that it's just no precipitation there. Look at how dry it goes too.
Very dry.
Minus 20 degree, like minus 20.1 degrees Celsius
all the way to,
for the dew point.
Okay.
Okay, NAM M. Oh, that's gonna kill it. That was the wrong one. Okay, let's look at the NAM. Okay, here's the NAM for Fayetteville. And there's saturation. Let me make this full screen so I can see what the time is. Oh. What's going on here?
Hurricane hunters definitely did fly through. I know they flew through yesterday. I don't want to lie and say they flew through again today because I don't know if that's 100% accurate. But I know for a fact they flew through yesterday.
That is some heavy snow, man.
Very heavy snow.
I can't see the time because of, there we go.
12Z.
What are you doing? What? Quit it.
It's acting a little funky.
What?
Yeah, this is
okay, there we go. All right, so 6 a.m. Man, Saturday morning, it's going to come down. But what? Oh, there's some sleet. Look at that. Starts to change. Then it goes back. I told you, man, look, 0 degrees Celsius, and it rides that line about 3,600 feet to 7,000 feet. Like I told you, it always does this. Yeah. It always rides right up that line. So it's left of that a degree or two, it's snow. If it's right of that, it's sleet.
Yep. And
if it's on it, it's most likely sleet.
Yeah.
That's what IP is. This is some super heavy sleet. And then it turns back to snow.
They say sleep deprived meteorologists are funny. I had to bring that up.
Oh yeah, sleep deprived or sleep
deprived.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So here's this break right here. See, here's what happens. Look, the dendritic growth zone dries up. This is where snowflakes develop,
right?
Which is minus 12 to minus 17 degrees Celsius. Then it spreads out. Then, look, it starts saturating again. And then at that point, see how that warm nose was able to come back? You can see how, because anything to the right of this line right here, this blue dashed line, that is a warm nose. But look, we can actually go and look at different models and see the craziness on how different they are. So look at that.
That's way colder.
That's the GFS, which is way colder. The NAM nest is way warmer. The NAM is just about the same. The FV3 is not happening. High res SRW. Yeah, this is going to crash it. Nope. So that worked. Snow.
Heavy snow.
The wrap doesn't go out far enough. That's Friday, 7 p.m. How about the SREF? Here's a look at the SREF. You ever seen this, Davon?
No.
You want to see how crazy meteorology is? Let's put on the ensembles and look. You tell me which line it is, man.
Right.
It's like
the line.
It could be all the way over here. It could be over here. Just
almost tropical.
You know what? That does it. Just say.
That does it.
Just forget it. Just say, you know what? We'll get what we get, and you won't throw a fit, and that's it. It's like that's
ask
it.
The 8 ball. Someone did mention the 8 ball earlier.
We should ask the 8 ball.
We ran out of time.
Let's do the 8 ball tonight, and then we'll stop it.
The 8 ball.
Okay.
Very good.
We do have to. This is weird storm.
Hey Dan, does this mean a catastrophic ice issue in Benton County?
No.
I want to stress
There won't be ice, and there won't be catastrophic ice.
no.
What are we covering? We're
Most
covering how dumb computer models are, and also how crazy it is to try to make a winter forecast.
An accurate winter forecast. It'd be
Yeah,
easy.
It's easy to make a winter
Yeah,
forecast.
it's easy to make one.
Heck, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
They do it online all
Accurate
the time. And if they happen to get it right, then they just rolled the dice and literally picked the roulette number.
We're somewhere between 0 and
36.
36 inches.
That's pretty much right. Yeah,
of precipitation. That's all we can think.
With double zeros.
Right. The bucket never lies.
All right, here we go. Yeah, that's a great. What if it's 1 inch then? Then we miss the forecast with that range.
Right.
2 to 380 inches. I was going to put the forecast in millimeters and post that.
Yeah.
That would have been good. Trolling you guys, putting it, because it would be like, millimeters might be like a little obvious, but centimeters wouldn't have been.
No, that would have been.
Yeah.
You would have had a lot of phone calls.
25 centimeters. And if you looked, it would be in the fine print. Yeah, it is going to be a dry snow. We're talking 16, 17 inches per 1 inch of liquid water equivalent.
And so snowmen likely won't be happening.
Nope.
With this snowstorm.
We'll talk more about that tomorrow. So, anyways, let's take a look here what we got with the 8-ball.
Right.
You are able to ask, folks, you are going to ask the questions for the 8-ball.
Right.
So just comment away. Davon, you can do it as well.
Yeah.
What's the temperature on Monday in Calvin? So it's actually going to be below 273 because not 273 is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that's 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. So I guess it'd be like 250 Calvin.
Interesting. How much liquid is available? Is it going to freeze in Houston?
Okay, what does Dad get some sleep this time around? As I'm yawning.
Yeah, as is yawning.
All right, 8-ball. Do I get some sleep this time around?
Have a good answer.
My reply is no.
Oh, that's great.
273 is absolute 0, but he said what Calvin was.
Yeah.
Calvin, if I remember, 0 degrees Celsius is 273 Kelvin.
Okay, that's why
is it not?
Yeah.
What models, though? Models are crap. All of them are wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. 0.
Bam.
0 Celsius.
See? There you go.
We know.
Does dry snow create power outages? It can.
It can.
Because of the particulate gets actually dirty.
That was creepy. He said power outages right as the light went out.
Because the battery went out because we've been streaming so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Great question. Snow depth. That is a great question. Brooke, beautiful. This, by the way, is the tie is brewing. The tie is brewing.
Can you tell we're
I'm gonna be brewing something up. The kegerator is gonna be brewing. This is the storm is brewing tie. I like yours too. Yours is fire.
Yeah.
I like that tie a lot. What was I going with?
They asked about snow depth.
Snow depth. That's right. Snow depth.
It's always
so snow depth is a really great example of how much snow we're going to get. So what snowfall does is it's taking with the temperature profile, figuring out the snow ratio, and then it converts that amount of liquid equivalent immediately to snow accumulation. Those are the forecasts that you see, Brooke, on social media mostly, is snow accumulation. Typically, it's a 10-to-1 ratio. Yep. Kuchera snowfall actually takes into account the snow ratio. But snow depth, what it does is it notices, well, number one, is there precipitation that's going to be falling when it's above freezing?
Right.
Is there a warm layer of air that's going to melt a lot of that snow? Is it going to be more of compaction and melting? And so snow depth numbers vary quite a bit more, and they're usually less than what actual accumulation is. You want to see? We'll take a look at that. So get off of that nonsense. And then there you go. We'll see how this changes again. But let's go back into that. So we'll do snow depth, which, by the way, not a lot of models have this. We'll go into this, which will have snow depth. And here's a great example. All right. Total snowfall, Kuchera. We're going to go with let's just get the whole storm. We'll go 120 hours. All right. And that takes us all the way through Tuesday. So clearly I got to go a little bit before that. So let's go to Sunday night. That is going to be your max snowfall right there, 72 hours from now. So let's zoom in. Let's go ahead and look at local. Oh, come on.
I'm making you sign in again.
Are you serious? All right, I'll tell you what, we'll do regional. There you go. You can see the regional.
Yeah.
So regional, 24.8. Come on. But if we look at total snow depth, you're going to see significantly less. Still a lot, but significantly less. So what this is doing is, and if we click on it, you'll get to see exactly what it does. This is the explicit model forecast of snow and ice cover over a given time. Within the model, the chief purpose of this variable is typically forced land surface fluxes and radiation balance, so caution is needed when using it to infer forecast snowfall, as 1, snow depth will not accrue over non-land surfaces. 2, imprecise snow to liquid ratios may be applied to liquid equivalent processes deemed in the model to contribute snow and ice cover on the ground in student sleet. Melting can occur between data output times. So the melting is probably one of the biggest things. And let's go to a different model here. Let's take a look here at, go ahead and bring the camera back up, Davon, real fast.
There we go. Camera's back up.
Okay. I got to go back into this here. 72 hours.
How about the, oops, wrong comment.
60.
How about the cold in the Midwest? What's the outlook? I can tell you right now, the outlook is just flat out cold. There's going to be air likely, well, not even likely, it will be below zero in a huge chunk of the Midwest, as well as here. And that's why that extreme cold warning is in place for our coverage area. We're expecting air temperature and wind chill values to be as like 15 degrees below zero. So very chilly air coming in along and behind this system, especially Sunday night into Monday morning. That looks like it will be the harshest day.
Okay, we can go back. Now look at this. This is actually pretty astounding. The NAM 3 kilometer, if this is true, that only shows 0.07 in the river valley.
Wow.
You buy that?
I don't buy
I don't buy that either.
At all.
That's way
There's just no way it
too
shows
much
all
of a
of
cut.
There's no way it shows all of that.
Yeah, and then just nothing there.
Nothing there.
Now that's snow, that's not sleet and freezing rain accumulation. But notice it has 14, it has 13. But let's look at the snow depth. So the snow depth is going to be a lot less, and it also adds snow here. It doesn't make sense then.
It doesn't.
So how does it not accumulate when it does this, but yet snow depth, there actually is snow? Models are whack, man. They are whacked out. They are just nuts.
That's why it's important to.
My goodness, are they nuts?
Versus just knowing models. That's why it's important to not just take models and run with it, because like you say, you have to ask yourself, does that make sense meteorologically? And that's not even meteorology. That's just, does that make sense?
But all the models do show, oh wait, this doesn't even get the full length of the storm. Jeez. Either way you slice it, and I'm going to end this here in 1 hour, 53 minutes. So we're getting pretty close, but last thing we'll do is 5 minutes of 8-ball questions. Okay. So you guys go ahead and ask the questions. You should say, make sure you put the 8-ball emoji in there.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. 8-ball emoji, and then go ahead and put the question in there. So I know you're not asking me a question. We're still getting a lot of precipitation.
Yeah.
The amount of precipitation is insane with this system.
There's just so much.
Okay. The latest Euro, we got to look at that.
Yeah.
I thought I did. And that's why I was just like, this is whack. Latest Euro, here we go, 66. So now it's got a bullseye over Tulsa, and this is going through Sunday evening. So look, it's got a lot of snow. That's a Kuchera. Let's look at the snow depth for 66. A lot less. Wait, did you got to bring it up?
Oh, there.
Weather 2. Let's go back here again.
There it is. Yeah.
So here's the total snowfall, 10-1. Notice how it's not as much. Kuchera, it's going to take into account that greater than 10-1 snow ratio. Here you got 22 in Tulsa. However, you go to snow depth, and boy, it paints a much different story. And that's what our 8-11 is. 8-12, I mean. It does not show that bullseye in higher terrain, but typically models don't handle that very well. Now, the total ice accumulation, see, this is why I think Scott County, Logan County, Southern River, I think this is a better handle than anything.
This might be the most.
Instead of this piece of crap garbage, look at this. Yeah. I'm just going to put those freezing rain down there. It's like a stupid model. I'm sorry, it's so frustrating.
Okay, yeah.
It's not even close.
It's not.
So we look at the latest GFS, and look, it also shows the freezing rain south.
What is going on?
That doesn't go out far enough, though. Let's go 72. I still think Mississippi. I've said it all along. Mississippi's going to get clocked.
Yeah,
with heavy freezing rain. But you know what? I can shift. Tomorrow it could be back up north, and everything can change, and everything's out of craziness.
Everything's out of whack. There are some 8-ball questions that rolled through.
Okay, back to the 8-ball, and then we're going to shut it down. So, will this be a historic event talked about for many years where snow outperforms the models and bamboozles us? I mean, if it outperforms the model, they're still going 15 to 18 inches.
If it outperforms the models, I'm pretty scared now because
that's like that's like a nor'easter.
Right.
All right.
Fayetteville will look like Buffalo.
Here we go. Ready? 8-ball. Oh, trusty 8-ball.
Right.
Will this be a historic event talked about for many years where the snow outperforms the models and bamboozles us in the Northwest Arkansas River Valley area?
That was specific.
Yes, that was. And the answer, I'm just going right there. Don't count on it.
Good.
All right. Will I survive the snow apocalypse? Which, who knows if this is even the snow apocalypse?
I know, right? By that definition, it wasn't.
Cannot predict now. Guess I'm going to die. All right. Let's see what else we got. If I leave now, will I miss the storm on my way to Galveston? That's a yes. I mean, that's an obvious yes, Shauna. Let's see what the 8-ball says.
Testing its knowledge.
Reply hazy. Try again. What do you mean hazy? Come on. Will Shauna be able to leave to make her way to Galveston right now?
Come on.
Yes, definitely. That's what I'm talking about. Does that sound just human? It's annoying how bad the NAM is, which, by the way, is throwing off the warm nose, too. So that could be all done wrong and stuff like that. And so I do believe that that the warm nose is going to be a factor, though. Throw what all the models show against the wall and see if it sticks. That's how you know the noodles are done.
The noodles.
That's how you know the noodles are done. How do you like your noodles, man?
I like them.
Al dente is my favorite.
When
they're soggy, when they got just a little bite to them. Nope. The amount of moisture alone makes this difficult. It does. There's just so much. Aha! This is a good one. Will far northwest Arkansas get as much snow as the 2009 February 9th? Actually, that was 2011. So we got to correct that because it was February 9th of 2011. Okay. Will Northwest Arkansas get as much snow as February 9th, 2011, the Highway 412 super mega snow apocalypse snowstorm? And the answer is, as we're shaking it up, yes.
Wow. That was like plain and simple.
That just didn't mess. That just didn't mess around. I just said yes.
Yes.
So it says as much snow.
Yeah,
so that means
so
24.5 inches has to fall for as much snow as a
never mind.
snowpocalypse.
I'm not cheering.
You're not
anymore.
buying that?
No.
I don't think the GFS should be used for anything personally.
No, I don't. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Now wait a minute. Will Dan run in his neighborhood like last year? Ooh, yeah, that was fun. Josh and I, we had a little bet going on. I took him around all the hills, did a little Facebook Live on it.
Oh, wow.
Josh was huffing and puffing, but he's in better shape now. So, I know exactly. No, that's why we're scoffing at it. I'm scoffing at it.
Right.
Oh, here we go. This is a good question. But Brendan, you're talking about here? I don't think here we're going to see 2009 ice storm. Will we have the 2009 ice storm in Northwest Arkansas, January 26th to the 28th of 2009? The answer is you may rely on it.
Wow.
I don't buy that.
Nope.
That ain't happen. How about this one? I like this one. Will we see over 12 inches in Benton County? Over 12.
That's a good question.
Over 12 inches somewhere in Benton County. Yes, definitely. It just was like, bam.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's over 12. Donna, Deer is going to be snowed in for many, many, many days. What's Deer going to see? When will it start? Meaning, how long do I have to grab last few minute items if needed? It won't start until tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
So you got pretty much all day, except for maybe a little bit of freezing drizzle in the early afternoon.
Right.
But you got pretty much all day.
There are some stores that are starting to clear out, though. It is getting a little rough. Some of our coworkers.
Oh, what is this? This is this bruh. I've been asking for this for about an hour. I think she's asking. I know there's so many comments coming through.
Sorry,
my
guys.
daughter has a hockey game in St. Louis Sunday morning. Should we cancel? Why don't you do this? Why don't you see what happens when you wake up in the morning on Saturday morning, and then you're like, whoa, this is big. And then Saturday night it gets pretty crazy. Then you're going to be like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
So thank you. By the way, appreciate you following Batman 13.
Batman.
But man, love it. Yeah, we like to just give some insight or craziness on what the models has done. The 8-ball. I think that's why he signed up. He sees us talking to 8-ball. All these models, all this science, all this math.
He said, "Oh, never mind.
Scrap all of it. We'll just get the 8-ball out." Will there be a milk and bread shortage in Northwest Arkansas?
It already started.
Oh, we already know the answer
Yeah.
on that. And it says, my sources say no. So maybe someone ordered some more bread.
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry, shipment
The
came
bread
through
man.
just in time.
Oddly enough, I actually did know the bread man, and he would call me and ask when he needed to order more bread.
Oh,
that is
actually,
not a lie
that
either.
is actually cool.
Yep.
Not many people can say that.
No, but he's an OU fan too. He used to work for Sarah Lee.
Nice.
But he would call me up. Will snow cave my roof in on a single wide? And Peter Pender.
Yeah. What?
He said, will snow cave my roof in on my single wide down in Peter Pender?
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you, there could be heavy snow, but I don't think the River Valley is going to get that much. So, I don't. Crohn's grow. You don't need to shut up. Maybe we need to shut up.
No, really. It's been a long day.
I jumped into the video at the wrong time. My bad. Oh, I don't know what you said, but
I think he was talking about the NAM. I think he was talking about the NAM, but we didn't.
Oh yeah, he thought he's like we're making a forecast looking off the NAM, but we've been trashing it the whole night.
Yeah, the NAM was horrible.
Yeah, I do believe though I can see the warm nose coming back, because one thing we didn't show and we never had shown is the HRRR. And the HRRR, by the way, it is painting a similar picture. So there's the precipitation coming in. Notice how Jasper, we're pretty good. There's the temperatures starting to drop with that evaporative cooling, wet bulbing. That shows through Saturday morning. Look at that. That is heavy snow.
Heavy snow.
Dude, if it is snowing at 8 degrees and you've got saturation all the way aloft, that's going to be a snow ratio way more than a 15-1. That's like a 20 or a 25-1.
Yeah,
so you can just That's going to be big time. And then look, it still is snowing. It tries to change over. It does in the river valley, but according to this, it doesn't. But then watch what happens Saturday night. There is that lull again. There's that break that totally makes sense with the upper level energy. So if you're just joining, again, we haven't shown this yet, but here is, well, we've shown it several times, but this is our snow accumulation map. And while we've got this on here, we'll take a look at some more 8-ball comments. I think Oklahoma is going to see up to 15 inches. I think there's going to be places that see up to 15 inches, maybe more.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how this handles and how it goes. Run, Forrest, run. Because here's the deal, man. There's surprises. There's always surprises with the weather.
Somewhere will overperform with their precipitation. It's just figuring out where.
Yeah. So Batman says, being from Minnesota, go early, drive safe, slow down, leave plenty of the room in front of you with the cars. Hey, Rowan. That reminds me, Rowan, okay, this is going to sum up everything with the entire forecast.
Okay.
Not even the 8-ball. I've got something for you.
Oh, we have a little treat. I don't think I've seen this.
You haven't seen this?
I don't think I've seen this.
I don't think you've seen it. This sums up the entire forecast and everything that's going to happen. It's this right here. The angry cloud.
Angry cloud.
Angry cloud, Rowan. This is what it means. This is what it's all about. First of all, this is a Christmas present that she brought me. Look at that.
Nice.
Little plush little pillow. That's
mad.
Yeah, he is. He's mad. That's what this system is. Mad. It's mad and it's coming. So anyways, that's fun. Hopefully you're still on here and you get to see it. Huntsville bread is gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
said that.
Okay. Am I the goat?
Yes.
Let's you got to ask that.
Me.
I can't do that.
Is Chief Meteorologist Dan Skoff the goat?
Reply hazy. Try again.
I'll just throw it if it says anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. It messing with it. Got to put it straight up and down so it can float. Let's see. What is it saying? Shake it up a little bit.
Outlook good.
All right, there you go.
It was actually
Outlook good. Yeah, it didn't like that.
It was trying not.
It was trying. We've been looking for milk for 2 days. Milk is running out. I actually make bread. Very cool.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Actually, fun fact, the 2011 storm, Dan was the only meteorologist that came close to predicting. I came close. I went with a foot. We had over a foot. So it's like
at some point, you had to play
I
conservative.
mean, come on. And that's kind of what we're going here. We could be saying a foot and then it happens. Why are there big differences in accumulation between the models? And Eddie, that's kind of what we were talking about. You might have just joined on here. Yeah. It's all about that warm nose, the strength of it. And if you don't know what that is, we can show you once again with this graphic, the winter precipitation types. This kind of sums it all up right here, is this warm nose. So remember, this is surging in from the south. The farther north you go, the thinner that warm layer of air is. The farther south you go, the deeper it is. So that's why imagine you're looking west, and this is south in Louisiana. Then you get up into northern Louisiana, western Mississippi, and you're into south central and western Arkansas, right about in here. Then you got freezing rain and sleet combination, and then you got snow. What I do love is that, the models weren't able to differentiate, at least on our system, the difference between sleet and snow. However, we do have sleet, freezing rain, and snow once the high heating cooling mega Doppler gets cranked up. And I'll tell you, this works really well. So we're going to have a great idea as to what's happening because it actually takes the atmosphere into account. Anyways, people may be watching the stream again and hearing the comments about how you can warm yourself up underneath the covers. What's the deal with people panicking and buying bananas? Is that a TikTok trend to buy bananas? I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is. Did you know that with a banana, you can hammer a nail into a wood board when in the cold weather. So you can do some really.
How did not you specifically, but who was the first person to figure that out?
I don't know.
What were you
but
doing?
bananas get rock. I mean, they are like stones when they're outside and they're frozen.
Yeah.
And you could literally take a banana and hammer a nail into a 2x4.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never.
So that might be why people know it's getting really cold. You got the angry cloud that's coming in.
Testing that theory.
And you can also boil water.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool. So when we're going to get down to about minus 20, minus 15, minus 20 would be an ultimate record. But if we look here.
Monday morning, minus 10.
Oh, now it's only minus 10.
Yeah, it was minus 13 earlier.
That's still pretty cold. But look at that. Look at the wind chill in Rogers, because there is a little bit of a wind. Minus 21. Just a little breeze will make a huge difference. But yeah, that's cold. And that's the wind chill. That's not the actual air temperature.
Right.
But what's cool about this is you can take boiling water, okay, and you get a bucket. Now, don't throw it directly over your head, okay? Use a little common sense.
Yeah.
But if you throw it out in front of you, you'll just instantly see it vaporize. If it gets down to like minus 20 or minus 25, then you could throw it up over your head and it'll just turn into a poof. Because what's happening is it's instantly evaporating. Yeah. Because of that extreme heat. So back to.
There we go.
Getting you back in here. Eating cereal with powdered milk, a different kind of grain. I'm so sorry you only have powdered milk. That is the worst. Oh, okay. Ask the 8-ball if Dan will ever answer our question about over. It's like I said, Robert, man, we got a lot of comments in here, but hey, let's do it real quick. 8-ball. Will there be?
You should have said 8-ball. Will Dan ever answer?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'm actually asking it. Yeah. All right. 8-ball. Will I ever ask the question if you got the over under 8 inches in Northwest Arkansas? Will I ever ask that?
I think
yes, definitely. I'm asking it. But now the question is 8 inches? Okay, here we go. Let's say 8 inches of snow. Is that going to be the average, or is that going to be under the average?
Okay.
How about that?
Is
8 inches going to be under the average? That's what I got to ask. Can't be a 2-part question. Yes. All right, 8 inches is under the average. We're just including that, though, because of all the sleet. Electricity just went out in Rogers. That is definitely not from snow.
No, I think that's an isolated event.
Will you guys get stuck not being able to come into the studio? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Got me a truck. Got a new truck. It's not new, though. It's old. Sounds good, though.
Sounds great.
Yes. Dan, do you personally think we'll get more than 8 inches in Fayetteville? I do.
I do as well.
Yeah, I really do. A foot, it's going to be tough, but honestly, we're going to see what happens, man. All right. What do we have here? What's the HRR run shown for snow and sleet accumulations? Well, we looked at it. Let's check it out. Yeah. We looked at some of the other. I don't know what's going on with some of those totals, but
some of them are acting a little wonky.
Yeah, they are.
There it is.
Here we go. Ready? Let's do here, bring this. Excuse me. Bring this up. Ready?
Stand by.
Come on. It's not even populating. There we go. There's the numbers. There's your numbers. Wow. So I guess there's no warm nose that exists anymore. It's just gone.
Right.
There's the totals gone. I don't buy that.
Me neither.
Nope.
It shows 15 in Fort Smith.
But what's really wild about this, though, is like, honestly, there's not a single model that doesn't show exorbitant
swamp.
amounts
Yeah,
of precipitation.
That's what we were saying yesterday. Every
Feels
single
like
model
2011.
and every single model run has consistently shown.
Yeah, what will Little Rock get? Because I'm confused. I don't think Little Rock is going to see a whole lot of snow. I think Little Rock sees inches of sleet, though.
Yeah.
Inches of sleet. How can that is exactly, James, what we were talking about is that warm nose. Remember, this is what you have to think of is that the temperatures in 3 dimensions, this is what happens. At the surface, this air is extremely cold. Extremely cold. But remember, this is cold and dense, so it's going to be heavy, so it's going to get low to the ground. Then you got this warm, moist air that flows up and over the cold, dense air.
Right.
And this is how you get a warm layer of air that melts that sleet and melts that snow and turns it into rain. And so that's how that happens, James. It's all about that warm nose. And so, yes, it can be very cold at the surface.
Yep.
Below freezing, which, by the way, if it's freezing rain at 10 degrees, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. How is Blytheville looking? They're going to get Blytheville gets a lot of snow too. So there's just a winter storm warning everywhere. It's almost weird that this isn't live, isn't discussing QLCS possibilities. I know. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we can ask it. All right. Well, let's ask it. Will I get stuck in the snow?
I hope not.
Yeah, I know.
Go from walk to live reporting.
My daughter needs. Don't count on it.
We knew that.
That's what I'm saying. Will the 8-ball see more 10 inches in deer? Well, the 8-ball's not going to see 10 inches. But will Donna see more than 10 inches in deer and in Limestone Valley? Ask again later. Okay. Still compiling that warm nose, I guess.
Yeah, no, still doing
the ball lies. Uh-oh.
The ball lies.
This ball doesn't know ball.
Right.
You don't know ball. Let's see. Ours is flickering. No. Oh, thank you so much. Love that. Power's back on. Rowan's Rowan is a good girl. Kate's girlfriend. Again, if you missed it, got the angry cloud. See, look at Davon. It's like over your head, man. Yeah. That's perfect.
Bad day.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Davon. I work for a company in North Carolina, but work remotely in Fort Smith. We'll be busy this weekend. Nice. 8-ball.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, we certainly do have our work cut out for us.
What? Here. I saw this. Exploding tree phenomenon. I saw that on social media, and I think it has to do with sap.
Yeah, we've been seeing so much.
But is that true? I know there's frost quakes, but we're too dry at the surface to have frost quakes.
I personally have. I can be 100% transparent. Obviously, I'm a meteorologist, but I don't know everything. I have no clue.
Yeah,
about
I don't know. Exploding trees. Sounds like something that I don't know.
Always say it's happening up north. I don't.
Does it happen often?
We can look it up.
Look it up. I don't know. A lot of other people can look it up too, but I don't know. Exploding trees. That sounds like a problem. I know lightning causes exploding trees. Flash freeze, boiling water. You get it.
Frost crack. Oh, those are really nice. Moisture and sap inside a tree freeze. Yep. As pressure builds, it splits the trunk.
But does it explode?
No,
people think
it's exaggerating.
See, people think it's like a bomb. Yeah. No, it's just gonna, it's just gonna crack a little bit.
Right.
I'll tell you when trees explode is in an ice storm, man.
Yeah.
Man, you can. Oh yeah, this is cool. You can blow bubbles that turn to ice bubbles. Wow. So cool to watch that too. play whack-a-mole
try
with the
that.
forecast.
You can
You know
blow
what? I think
bubbles
I
that
think
turn
I
the
got
ice
that
bubble.
one.
I might try that.
This is
Just
trying
for
to
experience.
what?
I might do that on the terrace just for an experience.
Oh yeah. You know what's really fun? What's really fun is what do you think is going to freeze faster? Boiling hot water or room temperature water?
What's going to freeze
Think
faster?
what's going to freeze faster? Think about that.
I'm going room. Water holds on to heat a lot longer. So if I'm thinking what's going to freeze faster, you have to go from boil. I'm going to room temperature.
We go room temperature?
Yeah, am I wrong?
Well, think about this. Think about this. What happens in ponds when they freeze? How do they freeze?
Oh, I think I see that.
Just think about this. Think about this. This is a good question.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? You can comment. What freezes faster? If I have a boiling hot water, and I'm talking about the entire column has to freeze.
Okay.
So what the entire column has to freeze. What freezes faster? Boiling hot water or room temperature water?
Well, now I'm changing my answer.
Oh, you are? You're changing your answer? Or am I just messing with you?
Right.
The answer is boiling hot water.
Boiling.
I did the experiment too because he had a part where it went instantaneously froze the entire column. If you've ever put bottled water into a freezer and wait for it to have that point where it's still super cooled, and as soon as it gets agitated, it just instantly turns to a ball of ice.
I should have known this because
it's pretty
the
cool.
Same thing happens if you leave water in a car.
Yeah.
In freezing conditions.
Yeah.
And the moment
it takes a while. Oh yeah. The moment you touch it. Yeah, it just freezes. It looks like Demolition Man when that ball hits the ground and everything flies. But don't forget that you got caught in the ice truck last year in your truck.
I still last year.
Caught in ice. You know, I will believe that, Jeffrey. That was the scariest the roads I think I've ever seen, and all it was freezing drizzle, and it was a trace. It was the slickest. It was the slickest roads I've ever experienced.
Was it a bridge or something?
No, it was everywhere.
Wow.
The roads were a sheet of ice. And this was about 2-3 in the morning. So not many people were out on the roads.
Right.
But you hit the brakes, you were going 150, 200 yards, and you weren't stopping. And the road that leads down to my house is a pretty steep hill.
Yeah.
And I literally couldn't turn, and the truck was sliding sideways. If I would have tried to go down, I would have been going down about 30 miles per hour and just slam into the house because it makes a hard right turn.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was so slick that I could put a bottle of hand sanitizer, toss it, and it would go all the way down the street.
Wow.
It was insane. It was like a hockey rink.
Yeah, hockey rink.
It really was. All right, we're at 12:03, so let's get caught up and we'll shut this down. I don't buy that. 8-ball. Will there be another weather system a week from tomorrow?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Guess we're not done, guys. We're gonna keep rocking.
Wait a minute. Not bananas, but if you get snowed in with a corkscrew for your wine, put the bottle in a shoe and bang it against the wall. Magic or physics? That sounds like you're gonna have a wait. Hold on here. Get snowed in without a corkscrew for your wine. Put the bottle in a shoe and bang it against the wall. Huh. Sounds like someone's been opening corks.
For a long time.
That sounds suspect because if you break the bottle, you got red wine or white wine all over your wall. But that's still impressive.
Do not try at home.
He's still showing some stuff here. How about this? Throw the models in the air and catch it. That's the forecast. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Actually, throw them in the air and then toss them in the trash. That's a question, David, that we haven't looked at. The liquid equivalent. I'm going to slide over here. We'll look at, do you still have it on Weather 2? No. Do you have the model? Yeah, you do. Weather 2 has the models. All right, so we'll go over here and let's look at the liquid equivalent. the precipitation total. So total QPF. So here's the GFS. This is about obviously Monday night. 2 inches.
Yeah. I think we looked at this right like during
We
during
did,
the
but we
10 o'clock.
haven't looked at it, I don't think, on this
Yeah.
live. Now look, that's a lot less
It
liquid
is a lot
equivalent.
less.
That does make sense with as much precipitation that will be down to the south. Kind of steals and robs that moisture. Let's look at the NAM, unfortunately. 2 inches, NAM 3 kilometer, about 2.4. So that's got a little bit more. And let's look at the wrap. And we got to look at the wrap 15Z. And then let's go to total QPF. And then let's go to 51. So yeah, about 2 inches,
About
two,
2
2.5 inches. Now, there's one more thing I want to show here, and it's about snow ratios and then also sleet ratios, because a lot of people don't realize that sleet really cuts into your totals. So here is on weather 1, this is the snow to liquid ratio, and this is how this works. When the temperature is warmer and just barely above or slightly below freezing, you get different ratios, meaning if you melt down that water, how much water you get, just like what we looked at, quantitative precipitation forecast. 1 inch of water is going to equal 7 inches of snow. So that is where you have a really heavy wet snow. That is the snow that is awesome for snow packing. But at the same time, the snowmen, snowball fights, you could pick it up and it instantly makes a snowball.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. But that also is a bear to shovel because it is heavy. All right. So that is a 7-to-1 ratio. But notice when you get drier, 32 degrees, you got a 10-to-1 ratio. That's the typical average. That's when you see those models putting 10-to-1. That's why it has that 10-to-1 ratio. But if it gets really cold, like what we were seeing, 10 degrees, potentially that's a 25-to-1 ratio. Ooh. So if we have 2 inches, I'm just kind of thinking of this. If we have 2 inches of liquid water equivalent, and it's a 25-to-1 ratio, about 50 inches of snow. That's not happening. No, it's not happening. If that does, that is.
We're all in trouble.
Is that the day after tomorrow? Which, oddly enough, Jake Gyllenhaal can still find his dad walking from New York in the middle of nowhere. I can't stand that movie because my wife watches it and loves it. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
But okay, first of all, when you have sinking air in physics warms.
I had to turn off my brain when I watched that when I was younger, because I actually have that movie on DVD. When I was younger, I loved it, but by the time I got to high school, I was like, this.
They have the people freezing in the middle of the eye of the storm, but the eye of the storm is sinking air. It's calm, and sinking air is subsidence, and that's warming because you're warming down the dry adiabatic lapse rate.
Yeah,
you don't instantaneously freeze.
And hearing the meteorologist or the scientist in the movie trying to explain it, I was like,
it was. My wife's like, I hate watching The Day After Tomorrow with you. I do. Twister is not as bad, but there's also some things in Twister too. What's the relationship between wind chill and feels like? Same exact thing. Feels like is the wind chill. The only reason I do the feels like is because one is for the heat, which is feels like, meaning the heat index, and then the wind chill is basically the same thing. Yeah, for cold. Everybody's been asking this. Any thunder, snow, sleet, something we've never looked at, and I've never looked at, is there instability with these storms?
That is something
I've never looked at. The warm nose is a guarantee, as always, but it's not a guarantee to make it all the way as far north as Northwest Arkansas. Right. So that is not a guarantee at all. But let's take a look here at convection. So in order to do this, we've got to bring up what's called mostly unstable CAPE, not surface-based CAPE. We know we're not going to have any of that, but I don't personally think that's going to happen. Let's see if we look. It's trying right there. There could be some convective stuff there. That's only going through Saturday, by the way. Let's do the NAM 3 kilometer, which obviously has that really strong warm nose. It's not looking like thunder snow. Now, there could be thunder freezing rain, though.
Yeah, and especially farther
Farther south. Let's look at the NAM. Oh, looking at the NAM. Let's look at the European, see if that has mostly unstable cape. It really doesn't.
Yeah, not really.
If you get thunder snow and you're having temperatures that are at 10 degrees, you got something coming, man. I just don't think that's happening. Yeah, that would be something else. And then let's look at one more here. The RFS. See if it's got some instability. No, it just. But if we go here, let's look at 607 is actually pretty decent. So this could be some. See, this could be some thunder freezing rain. Look at this. That is definitely a freezing rain profile to the max. Look at how warm that nose is. And then this is all elevated instability. That could be some thunderstorms.
Yeah, that could be.
With freezing rain. I think there will definitely be some of that. This system is just astounding. It really, truly is. It's wild. There was something else that I was going to look at, and I can't remember. So I don't think thunder sleet or thunder snow is a possibility for us. Do you think the European models as the most are the most consistent? So the European model typically does a good job, but I don't know. Why is my weather app on my iPhone showing 12 to 14 on Saturday and 9 to 11 on Sunday? That is because it's taking every bit of that precipitation, it's converting it to immediately snow. Snowfall. And we know that doesn't happen.
Ever.
Yep. Gateway gets a foot? That's definitely a possibility. Are there records for sleet kept? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't know because we looked at.
I'm not 100%.
You remember Dan parking at the end of his ice road last year? It was so bad. Oh, nice. 8-ball. I work for a company handling CMB breakdowns. Will I be working overtime for winch outs? There's going to be a lot of ice.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Roby, we've been talking all about it. We will do a summary. I'm just going to get caught up. Trey, no, I don't think there's going to be thunder, snow, or sleet. Too better get some sleep, I know. CMV is commercial vehicle, by the way. I was wondering what that was.
That's nice.
How about this? Yes, it's true. They don't technically explode, but branches can break off from frozen sap. Absolutely. Well, that sure makes it sound like I've seen the post on social media.
They use a frozen tree.
It's a giant bullseye. It shows a red contour that looks like the super volcano Yellowstone has erupted. And on top of that, it talks about exploding trees, and it's just like,
okay.
What's the emoji?
Right. The
eye roll. Yeah.
That might be my new favorite emoji. I use that.
I see this question a lot here, and this is a lot, but I'll read this off. Dan, I'm in Florida, but not my husband. David has lived in Arkansas all his life. Doesn't think that there will be more than 4 inches of snow at most. And Rogers said Google is only predicting 4 inches and reduce the amount significantly. Any way you can convince them? Honestly, I'm curious how tornadoes taking out the trees. Will Rogers and other areas be missing trees because of impacted more, or less because of missing tree limbs? You know, talking about power being out. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Cheryl, can I ever convince her husband if 4 inches is going to not be the correct amount in the Rogers area? Reply hazy, try again. You know, Google can do what it wants. AI can do what it wants. We've shown the complicated factors of winter storm forecasting. It's tough, man.
It is tough.
It's way tougher than a lot of people make it sound like. Especially on social media.
You add the complexities of the warm nose and how the system evolves.
They can crack vertically, but it's usually not a big deal. Now, I'll show you when you have exploding trees. That's when lightning strikes a tree. That can explode.
I've seen that.
So basically, they're saying all thunderstorms everywhere. Oh wow, we're quite a ways behind. Holy cow! So it is the boiling hot water because, just to let you know, the reason why is room temperature water will freeze just the layer on top. And when that happens, that prevents that evaporative cooling. So it has longer for those molecules to slow down. But when you have boiling hot water, all that air can be released until it cools and cools and cools and then gets super cooled. And then once you tap it, you instantly get homogeneous, instantaneous nucleation that creates that solid ice. So cool.
Nice.
If you've ever done it, I've got to do a Facebook Live with that because that is fun.
I might buy bubbles tomorrow.
Yeah?
Get them. Yeah, I'll bring them on Saturday.
There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. You can put a shirt outside. Of course, the Weather Channel talked about another system. What do you think? How do you think they get ratings?
Yeah.
They're always talking about the next system.
They also name their systems.
Close up of Dan's nose. That's scary. It's rapid evaporation. You got it. Ah, I love it. What are the 3 seashells for? Have you ever seen Demolition Man? Okay, it's funny. Sylvester Stallone goes up and he just starts cussing like on this thing and it's finding him and it's throwing out these receipts and he's like, so much for the 3 seashells. And you never know what it really means, but I think it's to wipe your fanny after you've done the done some doo-doo. And he just uses the receipts that he gets from being cussed. It's like, you have been fined 13 credits. It's just a good movie. That movie, by the way, Wesley Snipes. Remember him?
Yeah.
Is he out of jail or is he still in jail?
No, I don't think he was ever. Was he ever?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah.
He can't be. He has to be out of jail because he was in the Marvel movie. He came back as Blade.
Well, Marvel movie. You're typing in just Wesley Snipes. Look at Demolition Man 93. Yeah. Type in Wesley Snipes still in jail. I don't know. No, Wesley Snipes is not still in prison. Oh, 2013. 28 months of a 3-year sentence. So yeah, he didn't do 3 full years. Snowball fights, not going to be real good. I already did. Okay, Cheryl's got another question, man. Well, I've already done that one. We've already commented. I'm zipping through these real quick. Will groundhog see a shadow? Probably. We'll probably have 6 more weeks of winter. Dan, here's one from about 4 minutes ago. So we're kind of getting a little more caught up. Can you look at Nashville, Tennessee at 20 degrees Saturday night? How will only be liquid rain, not freezing rain? Let's do that here. Let's look at Nashville. Come back over here. We'll look at the precip type. Let's go to, let's do a little bit more of a different view.
Yeah.
And then let's go with, I'm just so tired I can't remember what I'm looking at here. Let's do this. Let's do precip type.
One countdown.
All right, so that's going to be snow, sleet, and freezing rain. So Nashville kind of right in the middle of Tennessee, and then
kind of good.
It's more rain than freezing rain, it looks like, as that system comes in.
Cold rain.
Yeah, big time cold rain, but also some wintry accumulation. So not as bad, but definitely some impacts that still will be felt. Oops. Oops is right. Okay, guys, it's almost 2 hours on this live stream. We do have to shut it down, but let's get caught up here. Oh, yeah, Siloam Springs will have snow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my. What kind of camera do you have? Because I need one for weddings. Well, this is not a great camera for weddings. This is a better streaming camera. What's cool, though, is it will follow me. So That's kind of fun when we're kind of moving around. Extra, yeah, using the garage as an extra fridge and freezer. That is so true. Okay. Yes, tongue will stick to the flagpole.
Oh yeah. Highly don't recommend.
Hey, they had Taco Bell. You're right. It was the only restaurant in Demolition Man. I love that people are getting Demolition Man. I don't really know Oxford. Are you talking about Mississippi? If you're saying Oxford, Mississippi, I'd say that's about an 8 or a 9 on the ice storm scale, man. It looks pretty wicked.
Ice
Hey,
storm warnings already went out for them.
guess what? We are caught up. I use the pivotal weather. I'm trying to get used to the 6Z run. Well, you're probably not going to get the 6Z run. Lowest temperature check-in. It's going to be big time, Batman. It's
Euro's going what, -10?
Yeah, and that's probably not going to be cold enough, honestly.
I went colder.
Oh, look at that, man. It's like 10, 12 degrees. So cold. Definitely going to be chilly. So, yeah, you won't be problem getting out. So, all right, guys. I'm literally fading.
Yeah.
Fading fast. But, hey, thank you so much for joining in. Here's the deal. Tomorrow, we're probably still not going to know any more than we know right now. I mean, I'm just being 100% honest. What do you think, Davon? It's like,
it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, the models are still going to be all messed up, and the
Still
warm nose will still be crazy, probably dropping the pump fake. But we'll keep you updated, that's for sure, and we'll do it as much as we can. And we're definitely going to see that precipitation moving in tomorrow night. Ice making it into Missouri. I think there's going to be a little bit of ice, but boy, most of it's going to be snow.
Yeah, most of it's going to be
That's going to be tough to do. So thank you guys for watching the stream. Appreciate all the new followers. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Any last words, Davon?
No, thank you guys for trusting us, and we'll keep you guys updated as we continue to learn more.
Peace out. We're out, man. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, we do have one more thing. This is our new upgraded version of the stream that they'll be busting out tomorrow. We just kind of did the old low key things. Once we start getting some warnings and stuff like that, well, we already have warnings. Once we get precipitation, we'll let you know about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful night. We will see you mañana.